Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and today we are talking about the most powerful time to reprogram your subconscious. Now, if you're new to this channel and you like videos like this, hit subscribe, hit the bell. It's going to let you know when new videos come out. And if you really like this video, you want to show some love and support, click the like. It really helps to spread this information. So back to the video, the most powerful time to reprogram your subconscious. So if you're watching this video, I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that there's something in your life right now that you want to change. You're interested in reprogramming your subconscious. So why is the subconscious so important, right? Like, what is the big deal about it? Well, basically, it is running programs that even if you're not aware of, it doesn't matter. It is still running based on that. And that is basically an idea that you've given permission and consent. And Neville Goddard talks about that is the law of assumption. You have an assumption that is stored in your subconscious. And it doesn't mean it's objectively true, meaning that you say if you feel like you can't make money, it's not objectively true. That is not true for the world. It is possible for you to make the amount of money that you want. But in your subconscious, you have an assumption, a set of beliefs that say, no, you're not able to, that you lack something, that you're not deserving, that you're unworthy, that you're not valuable. So since that's the program in your subconscious, you're going to go into the world and you're going to radiate that first through your thoughts and your feelings. And those thoughts and feelings are going to send out your electromagnetic signature, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza. That's your thoughts and feelings, and that is what you're going to send out into the quantum field. The quantum field is going to say, okay, I got it. Lack and scarcity. You're sending that out, you're drawing it back to you. Here you go. Here's a set of circumstances, here's people, and here are situations in your life that are going to align with that, because that is what you are sending out. Just as the universe is listening to how you are being, who you are being, which is your thoughts and feelings, it's not listening what you really want, what you desire, what you long for. It's listening to who you are being. So the same thing, your subconscious is not saying, okay, well, what is it that you really want? It is listening for what you feel to be true. And those programs that are deep-seated, they are basically things that you've accepted to be true. They are stored in your body as truth. They are not true. However, they're true for you. And that's the lens that you're going to look out into the world and find. You have something called your confirmation bias. You're going to look out into the world using filters such as your RAS, your reticular activating system, and you have programmed those for a set of priorities, things that'll be in alignment with who you are, so you see them reflected back. So those can be in alignment. So if you're living and you're insecure, you don't feel very confident about your body, you don't feel very attractive, or maybe it's about amount of money, you feel scarcity, you don't feel safe. Whatever the situation, you basically are sending that out, and you continue to find situations, people, and circumstances and where you're feeling the same old way. This happened to me where I continued to go out and date and have romantic situations and different partners. And even though these people were so different, I kept feeling the same way in that relationship, meaning that I had a belief about myself. I was projecting those things out. I was sending that out into the universe, and I was finding those situations to help me dive in to find the wound that needed to be healed. As I started to do that, guess what? The situations that I was experiencing completely changed. I was able to meet new people, and the dynamics completely changed. Since I healed that call, that echo was no longer in my life. So where did these subconscious programs come from? Well, basically the last trimester of your biological mother and 7 years old, you got all of these things stored. Sometimes too, there's something called epigenetics where you can actually have memories, traumas most likely, in which through our evolutionary mechanisms are planted in you on, okay, when you're in this situation, you need to do this because this keeps you safe. And that could be a state of scarcity. That could be lack. That's why you can see these generational issues with money, because not only is it stored inside of your genes, and you do have the power to turn on different genes and turn off different genes by thought alone, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. So you're not trapped in anything. However, it is important that you understand the programs that you're running off. So they can not only be passed through generationally inside of your body, But the situations that you actually physically experienced, whether you watched parents or adults interact in a certain way and you stored that in your head, whether somebody treated you, a lot of times I use the example of if a teacher told you you weren't creative because of something that they lacked and that maybe they were having a bad day, but that one moment you took as, oh gosh, I'm not creative, I'm not artistic. So everything in your world moving past that point, you're going to look for things to prove. Look, see, there you go, I'm not creative. The little bit you try, you only go and put that effort in, and then you find that reflected back to you that you're not creative. Rather than pushing through and looking for other things, since you're not aware that this is your program, you're not aware to actually make a choice to actually live in free will because you are basically enslaved by these old programs. You're not able to consciously make a new choice. However, that's what this whole video is about, so that you can make that choice, so you can start bringing awareness to these old programs and program the thing that you want to happen in life the way you want to be. So you have all of these old programs, all of the different things, all parts of your life, and whatever it is that you're wanting to change right now, starting to look back into your past and into your childhood, specifically maybe this is a generational thing, how your parents did, whatever your authority figures were that were when you grew up, even teachers. How did they treat you in regards to that topic? What were some of the primary ways that you felt and you were thinking about yourself? Going back as an adult now and reasoning on that situation will give you the power to start changing the story. And why is it that your conscious mind, the mind that you're watching this video with right now, can't just go inside and pull up those old memories and pull up those old subconscious programs? It's because you have your analytical mind. It is standing in the way. It's basically saying, no, we're going to separate these two. And it is just going and it's trying to do everything it can, keep you safe, and just go ahead and execute the program. Not asking if it's good or bad, not asking if it's helpful, but just execute the programs. So what can you do to change this? And what are the most important times? Well, I want to give you all of this information so that you can understand why these are powerful and you really take advantage of them. So the reason why we care about two specific times, which I'll get into in just a second, is because of your brain waves. And I've actually added this chart again. And this is a chart from the book Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins. And again, I talked about brain waves earlier. So when you're a child and when you're in that sponge age range, which is between the last trimester of your biological mom and 7 years old, you're in theta brainwave. And you can see that on the chart here between 4 and 7.5. The numbers aren't important, but just the concept is. Well, right now, you and I, we're operating off of beta brainwave, but you can see that at the lower end. Doesn't mean that when you're in beta, you're in these lower level emotions, which you can see as guilt and shame. However, if you're not careful, getting into high beta, which is a stressful state, that is when maybe somebody cut you off and boom, you're right into anger. Maybe you're upset with somebody and then it triggers your old memory, your old program of guilt. And then you get caught up in that cycle of stress, both physically and mentally, where you're thinking and feeling on those lower vibrations. So the thing that you want to do is understand that these different levels. Alpha is basically more relaxed. Maybe you're watching TV, maybe you're getting a massage, maybe you're reading, but your brain is going to be a lot lower level functioning. It's not going to be so rapid and high stress. And you can see naturally the consciousness levels change. Now, ideally, as you're moving through, ultimately your default is that alpha, and you're able to tap into those at a more frequent and regular occasion. So the two most important times of the day, the times that we can get into the subconscious, which is basically theta brainwave, is right before you go to sleep. And you're kind of awake and you're kind of asleep. You're not just laying there with your eyes closed, but you're really, really relaxed. A lot of times what I do is I'll actually go through a guided meditation to help me just about fall asleep. And I will visualize what it is and who I want to be and feel those sensations of what it would feel like moving throughout all of my life, my interactions with my friends, my day-to-day, what it will feel like to have those accomplishments, to live in that reality. And then as I go to sleep, obviously I have that influence into the next 8 hours of my dream time and deep subconscious. The other most important part of the day is right as you're waking up, because you go beta, alpha, theta. So on either times of going into sleep, you're at theta. So right before you go to bed and right as you're waking up, you're hitting theta. So as soon as you realize you're awake, you want to start embodying those, and actually spend the first 20 minutes of my day, as soon as I'm awake, I get set up so that I can just meditate, because I want to move into the thoughts and feelings of that desired person and being state that I want. And so many times I've woken up and just kind of feel funky, don't feel great, maybe a little stressed, worried, dreamed something, I'm not sure. And when I go through the meditation, I am now reset, and now I can start the day on who I want to be, not going off of reactionary of the stress I felt from the past. If you want to create a new future, that is going to be in an unknown state. If you continue to repeat the past, you're going to be defined by the past. You have to be led, you have to be inspired by the vision of the future. And you can see in this chart that theta, automatically you're at the realm of love and joy and hope and peace. And from those states of being, those higher level emotions, really creating and tapping into that version of you, living in the end, thinking from that version, using your theta brainwave to influence those subconscious programs, to re-reason on them and retell the story and change the meaning on how they've been anchoring you into a version of yourself that you no longer wish to be. The more you become aware of the time that you step outside living in the end and thinking from that inversion, and you're getting caught up and you're being those old emotions, those old thoughts and those old feelings, every time you reset, you can have those lower level emotions, but the key is to limit your emotional refractory period, meaning how long are you spending getting upset? Is it a couple minutes and you move back into the new state? It's not about not being human and feeling different emotions. It is about moving on and letting go of those and not being pulled over and over and over to the old thoughts and the old feelings. If you continue to do that, you will live in those lower level emotions and not have the opportunity to live your wish fulfilled. Every time you bring yourself, your thoughts and your feelings to those higher level emotions, to living right now, being that version of you that you want to be, every time you do that, you make a choice for your future and you will be defined by it. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit subscribe. If you haven't done so already, like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.